So I'm not one of those losers that makes New Year's resolutions, but what I do like to do is basically plan my every move for each quarter. It's something I've been doing for 3 or 4 years now, and it really helps me sort of get a good kickstart to the year. It helps me know what I'm going to do and why I'm doing it. So I have essentially a path to follow for the first essentially 3 months of the year, and then when it comes to it, I'll do Q2, Q3 and Q4. Now, like I said, I've done this for years now. I've never really shared with anybody what I do and why I do it, but I thought I'd make a video and share essentially my routines, how I'm building cash flow and what I'm looking to invest in. So potentially it can help some of you guys out too. So let's get straight into it. So just before we do start, a quick introduction to myself. My name is George Lymph. For those of you that do not know me, I've been a trader / investor for the last 7.5 years. And over the last 3 to 4 years, I've been mentoring and helping people just like yourselves start their own careers as a trader. We've had some phenomenal success during this period with students going on to make hundreds of thousands of pounds. So if this is something that you would like to get into and these sorts of videos do spark your interest and you would like to potentially explore the route of becoming a trader, then in the description below, there'll be a link where you can come and get more information on how myself and my team can help you get started as a trader. But let's get straight into the video. So number one, what are my routines, my supplements and my diet going into the new year? Now, routines are key to any successful life, whether that be in business or trading or investing, or whether you want to run a marathon. You need to have these routines and processes in place if you want to achieve success. It's going to make things much easier if you know exactly what you have to be doing and you don't have to be making those decisions as the time comes, okay? Whatever happens, you know exactly how you're going to react and what you're going to do. Now with trading, there's sort of 2 key things that I like to stay really regimented with in order to keep me at that high performing, high success level. Now, number 1 is of course your trading routine or whatever sort of times you're trading. Now, I'm from the UK, I'm living in the UK at the moment. So really the 2 main times I need to focus on are 8 AM when the London session is starting and really kicking off, and 2 PM when the New York session kicks off. Now this is really typically where we see the majority of the larger moves happening during the day. So during these times, you have to be prepared and you have to be on the ball if you've got open positions, because this is typically when they're going to move. So what I've done is I build my routines around these times. So typically what I'll do is I'll start my day around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and it will consist of me basically coming straight to the charts and getting straight onto my computer in front of me. Now what I'll do is I'll come on board, I'll check. A lot of the time I don't really have open positions running overnight, but if I do, then I'll check those positions and I'll see where we are. I'll see how the markets have moved during the Asian session. A lot of the time what happens is we're pretty much just moving sideways for the most part, but when you're going to be seeing these moves, typically what happens is you're going to see a breakout of the Asian session, and then you're going to see on the sort of 2 o'clock, you're going to see a retest, and then the markets are going to move. So I like to see how things have moved. I like to see what my positions are doing, and I can make decisions based off of that. So yeah, like I said, my day will typically start around 6:30, 7 o'clock, going straight to the charts. I'll typically work through to about 10 o'clock. It depends how the markets are moving for that day. If they're not really moving a great deal, then I'll perhaps jump off a bit earlier. But if they are moving and we have seen some nice movement, I'll typically end my first sort of work block around sort of 10 o'clock. I'll then, again, put my time into something, whether that be sometimes going out for a walk, going to get a coffee, perhaps making some breakfast. Again, it can be anything that sort of isn't involved with my sort of trading day. I'll then typically jump back on the charts around sort of 12:30, just to sort of see where we are, see what sort of levels we're heading into for the New York Open. Again, typically what we're going to see is we're going to see a quick, sharp movement. A lot of the time it actually goes against what we're looking to trade. But again, I'll just assess the markets. I'll see how we're doing, see if there's any levels that we're coming into, seeing if I've got any active orders that could potentially be activated. And again, just assess the markets, assess my positions. If there's anything that I think we should close before the New York session opens, then I'll do so. But again, it's just about assessing things, seeing how we're doing, and then making decisions based off of that. Now, this work block will typically end around sort of 3:30. And then that's really my trading day done. Around 4 o'clock, A lot of the time what happens is the markets just go completely dead for the most part. People have taken their profits, people are away from the markets, and you see things really sort of slowing down a lot. So typically my trading day will end, if it hasn't already ended from that morning trading session and I haven't banked my profits then, it's going to typically end around 3:30. Now, number 2 is my cognitive function, or essentially how my brain is performing. Now, trading is a massive mental game, and your results are essentially a byproduct of how consistently well you can mentally perform on the market. So there's a few things that I do to help my brain perform at a high level on a consistent basis. Now, number 1 is my sleep, and making sure that I have good, high quality sleep on a consistent basis. And there's a few things that I've put in place to help me make sure that I achieve this. Now, number 1 is the time I'm eating. I'm trying not to have big meals at least 2 to 3 hours before I'm going to sleep, which is around 10 o'clock, to ensure that all my food is digested properly and I'm able to actually settle down and have a good sleep. Number 2 is stopping or at least limiting my alcohol consumption during these high performing times. Alcohol is one of the hardest things for the body to digest, and if you're trying to sleep whilst your body is trying to digest alcohol, you're not going to fall into that deep REM sleep that is ultimately what allows you to wake up feeling refreshed and ready to go. And number 3 is leaving my phone outside of my bedroom when I'm trying to sleep. This has probably been, or probably had the biggest effect out of all of them on my sleep. It stopped me from being able to actually get to sleep, and it stopped me from scrolling through my phone until stupid o'clock in the morning and actually not even having enough time to get a good sleep. So leaving my phone completely outside of my room when I'm going to sleep is the third and final thing. Now, second on the list of things that help me with my cognitive function are supplements, or nootropics to be specific. Now, I've got my stack of nootropics over there. I'll go and grab them quickly and I'll talk you through what they are and why I use them. Okay, so first on my list of my current stack of nootropics at the moment is this Focus Elite by Brainzyme. Now, this is a nootropic that I'm currently testing at the moment, but it's to help focus and concentration, help to support a positive mood. It's supposed to aid in your energy production and your memory and brain health support. This is one I'm trying at the moment. I've been seeing some good results so far, but yeah, I like to test these things. Now, second on the list is ashwagandha. Now, this isn't one that I use in the sort of same stack. I use this one mainly at night to help me sort of wind down and sort of get in that sleepy mood, but this one is to help with stress and anxiety. So again, it just helps you sort of wind down at the end of the day. After you've been sat on the charts all day and dealing with problems, this one just helps you to sort of get to sleep a little bit better. And then third and finally, we have my favorite, which is Lion's Mane. This one, if you want to really feel the effects of nootropics and you really want to be sparked up and you want to be woken up, this one really does light you up like a Christmas tree. I usually pair this with coffee in the morning, which is another nootropic, and it really, really helps to get your day started. So the third thing that helps with my cognitive function to start my year right is my diet. So every year I start my year with a very, very strict dieting regime. I found that sticking to this strict diet regime really, really helps me to kickstart my year. It helps me stay focused, it helps me stay productive, I get stuff done, and I find that sticking to this diet and this way of eating, that discipline in itself just trickles down to what you're doing in your day-to-day life as well. So I'm getting all of my work done, I'm making good decisions, I'm making money, I'm making good trades. So I find that sticking to this very sort of trivial thing of sticking to a diet, and this strict diet in particular, I find it really, really helps other aspects of my performance as well. Now, for the last 3 years, I've done the first 30 days completely vegan, which is something that I'm also implementing this year as well. But I'm going to follow that with a 48-hour fast just to sort of reset the system. And then I'm going in for 30 days of fully keto. Now, I don't think it really matters too much on the exact diet that you're following. I think it's more so the actual action of sticking to this regime and this way of eating that kickstarts your year and actually just gets you going. So the second thing we're going to have a look at is my cash flow and my income. Okay, where is my money coming from every single month? Now, one of the things I see people falling into so much is the fact that they believe their money problems stem from the fact that they're not investing. However, 9 times out of 10, their money problems are stemming from the fact that they haven't focused on generating cash flow and generating high income skills. So let's take a look at where my income's coming from and how I generate cash flow every single month, and some of the things I'm looking to implement in Q1 of 2022 to help me scale up those cash flowing systems as well. Where does my income come from? Where does my cash flow come from? And what do I plan on doing with it in 2022, in particular Q1? So I've got really sort of two main ways in which I make money. Number one is through my FX trading. This makes up the majority, the highest portion of my current income. I then also have my education business. So for those of you that, some of you may be on board with me already, but I teach people how to trade using the systems, the strategies that I've developed over my 7.5 years on the markets. So that also provides a portion of income. I've then got a few other little businesses that provide income on the side as well, but my two main sources of income at the moment are my education business and my trading. Now all of that money then gets fed into my general income pot. We've of course then got expenses that come off the top of that, so rent, stuff like that, taxes, and then I put this down here because it's something that I've done, which is build a little safety net. So I have about 6 to 9 months worth of expenses and worth of bills sat there in a pot. So if shit hits the fan, then I've got something to fall back on. I don't have to worry too much about money at that point. So this is my engine. This is my bread and butter. This is how I generate my money. And what am I going to do with it coming into Q1 of 2022? So first and foremost is my FX trading. Now you can see here on the right, this was my old watch list. This was the pairs that I used to flick through every single week to try and trade. Now, one thing I'd noticed later on in Q4 of 2021 was that this was just not really the most efficient way for me to trade. So what I've decided to do is to increase my efficiency here and just narrow down the pairs I'm trading. This is going to allow me to, number one, find more trades because I'm focusing on more pairs, focusing on less pairs, so I'll be able to spot the opportunities much easier. And I'm going to be spending less time going through the charts because there's less charts to actually go through, there's less pairs for me to analyze. So one thing I'm doing to increase the profitability and the or decrease the time output it's taking me to trade is by reducing the amount of pairs that I'm trading. Now, with my education business, again, this pretty much runs itself for the most part. It only really takes me about 1 or 2 hours per week to run it. But one of the things that I want to do to help me increase my cash flow is to, number one, automate my marketing, and number two, automate my sales process. This is going to allow me to increase the amount of revenue that the business makes. Again, increasing the cash flow and income that I have to then go on and invest into my investment portfolio. Also, combining these two things, it's also going to free up some more money for me to put into other businesses, and also free up some time that I can go and dedicate to the other businesses that are on the side making me money, so I can then help grow these. So potentially these small little pots of money can become much more considerable amounts of money, like my FX trading and like my education business as well. So essentially just looking to increase revenues and looking to decrease the overall time I'm spending on each of these things by putting in systems, processes, and automations, really. More income means I'm looking for more opportunities to invest in. So at the moment, the majority of my money is being put into crypto. I feel like that is the most appealing place to put money at the moment. It's very, very liquid, so I can get money in and out if I need to, as opposed to property, which is something that it's a much longer process to, number one, invest, and number two, take your money out of. So I feel like the crypto market is something that is a lot more appealing to me. And I've also began to put some money into NFTs. Now, this isn't necessarily much of the sort of investment where you put money in and sort of let it grow. For me, the way to make money in NFTs is to be getting into these projects early, getting into whitelist and minting these NFTs, which obviously takes a bit more manpower. So it's almost run as if it's a business as opposed to a specific investment. But this is generally sort of how my cash flow chart is working and what I intend to do with it. Looking to increase those cash flows, those incomes, by refining the businesses that I'm already in. Okay, I've got two very, very good cash flowing businesses. And then I'm looking to diversify that investment portfolio off the back of it. Now, a few things that I'd like to point out. If you do not have enough cash flow, okay, and you've only got a small amount of income to invest, my biggest recommendation would be to invest in yourself and your knowledge first before making an investment portfolio. So whether that be you're learning how to trade, you're learning how to run a social media marketing agency, you're looking to start an Amazon FBA business, you're looking to learn how to code, anything like that that's going to allow you to increase your income should be the primary focus on you as you are beginning this journey of essentially creating wealth. Okay, without that cash flow coming in at the start, okay, without a business, for example, that you can sort of refine and fine tune and increase revenues to increase your cash flow to allow you to invest more money, it's really not worth investing into assets like cryptos, NFTs and property. Okay, so my recommendation would be look to increase your cash flow and your income before you start to build that investment portfolio, because it will pay dividends. Okay, you'll make much more money if you invest in yourself to start with, as opposed to if you just invest very small amounts into these crypto or these different investment vehicles. Okay, so now we know the assets that are generating me income and cash flow every single month, and we know some of the systems and processes that I'm looking to put into place to help me grow that income and the cash flow coming from each of those different assets. But now let's take a look at the top 5 crypto coins that I'm potentially looking to put my money into in Q1 of 2022. One for me is what I think could be a potential sleeping beast is Cardano. We have been falling for quite some time now. Again, like most of the market, we've been bearish. We're down about 60 or so %, but we can see that Cardano can definitely rally when it wants to. We can see previously we've had some massive rallies. Plenty of times we've done plus 200% moves, and I think if we can pick up the confidence back in Cardano, and we do follow Bitcoin when that next move begins, I think we can definitely see a move back to all-time highs, which would be a nice 176 or so %. But I think Cardano is definitely one to watch for 2022. I think it could definitely be a sleeping beast, and it's one that I'm starting to average in, and I'm starting to buy this dip. We're coming into a really nice area of demand, so a break slightly below this level would be very good buys for me. I'm starting to buy the dip around this 130 mark. I want to get my buys below 130. If we drop below $1, then I think it's a very good purchase. But coming into this demand zone, I think it's a fantastic place to start buying this dip, because as soon as we do start that rally, I think we're going to be in a very good position. So number 1 is Cardano. Number 2 is Polkadot or DOT. Again, as the whole market pretty much is, it's all pretty much the whole market dipping at the moment. I think we've got another fantastic opportunity here on Polkadot. Again, another coin that we can see has got very good potential to rally, has done in both bull markets now. Really nice moves. So again, the last big impulsive move is about 400%, and then even if we move just up to previous highs, we're looking at a nice 100% gain from our buys at current price. We have been currently in this previous demand zone. We had this daily falling wedge, which could be a nice potential sign that the reversal is coming. Again, I'm looking to continue buying this dip at the moment, trying to get in buys as close to that 26 mark as I can. But again, I think Polkadot can be another fantastic buying opportunity if we do see this continuing on and we do see that rally into the new year. As soon as that bull market continues and as soon as we kick on, like I said, if we move to previous highs 100%, if we go on to surpass highs, say we hit $65, then 144%. Number 3 then is Matic, again, however you want to say it. Another really solid coin, been very strong over the last few weeks, and it's a coin I'm very closely watching at the moment, continuing to buy this dip. I'm looking to try and get buys below this 2.5 mark. I think it's really nice position. As soon as you break those previous highs here, that $3 mark, I think 4 is very easily achievable. $4 is very achievable. So taking buys in and around this position, I think we're looking at least a 65 or so % gain when that bull market continues. Like I say, the market's heavily focused on where Bitcoin is going at the moment. With the current price that is sat, I think we've got one last sweep into this area of liquidity here, into this demand zone, taking out that liquidity that's just below this level here, and then I think we are in good position to start that next leg to the upside. Number 4 then is this coin within the metaverse and gaming space. A space that I think is going to be very, very popular coming into Q1 and 2022 as a whole is that metaverse and gaming space. And one of the projects I'm keeping a very, very close eye on is Enjin. Now, Enjin is essentially a business or a platform that allows businesses, individuals and developers to utilize NFTs and to build NFT platforms and services within their platform. So individuals essentially gives you an easy way to explore the metaverse, okay, and an easy way to get into NFTs. For businesses, which is, I think is probably going to be the main key area here, is it's going to allow businesses to use NFTs to grow their business. So NFTs are massive at the moment. So many people are getting into NFTs, but not many people really understand how they can implement it into their business to help their business grow. And a company like Enjin are going to be able to facilitate that and help businesses grow. So there's huge real world utility for this coin. And again, we also have utility for developers to actually be able to build NFT games, apps, and different websites within this platform. So like I said, massive utility for Enjin, and that is why it's one of my top 5 picks at the moment. Okay, and number 5 is Wilderworld. Now, Wilderworld is another metaverse coin, but this one in particular is very, very interesting to me because of who they've appointed into their business. Well, they've actually just appointed somebody called Chad Knight. Now, Chad Knight has joined as their head of cyberware, but the key thing here is he comes from Nike, and he was the head of 3D design at Nike. So having these sorts of people that are backing and are part of your project is massive in a world where we are so massively promoted and we're driven by the news and the fundamentals behind these coins themselves. So having someone on board like this, I think, is massive, especially from such a massive company like Nike. I think they're destined for good things. But Wilderworld, again, it's like they're building another metaverse, but they're doing very, very interesting things like shoes, and you can buy wheels for your cars, cribs, so different houses and stuff within their metaverse. So I think it's really, really cool. I think the hype around the metaverse and having good fundamentals, like again, people that used to work for Nike, I think when we do see that bull market kicking in and we do see coins start to rally, I think Wilderworld is one that's going to do particularly good within this space. So thank you for watching the video, guys. For those of you that are looking for information on how you can start and scale your own trading career, then all of the information will be in the description below. Make sure you like the video, and if you have any questions, be sure to put them in the comment section and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. But that is it from me. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll speak to you all soon.